Okay, ready to start your day the right way? Welcome
Yes.
to this edition of the Do It Now Show. I am one of your
Yes.
hosts, Dr. Christopher Vogelmann. You can see Dr. Kayvon K over there. And we have the anti-procrastination specialist, John
That's me.
Paduchak, down below,
That's me.
who just joined us during our video.
Thank you very much.
And I screwed up. I screwed up on this one, but I realized that I was trying to do this all the last minute, and I realized all I did was cut and paste Dr. K's suggestion from several days ago, and it was setting you as opposed to setting yourself up. So I used instead
Yeah.
of your, it says you.
No English. No English.
But English. But for a Persian, it's the Persian version of English. It was actually very good. But what's interesting about it is the various search engines I put it into without even thinking rated it very highly. So maybe there's more people looking for you instead of your. So that's where we are. And John's been busy taking air conditioners out. That's a great way
It's been a
to
busy
end your
day over
day
here.
as opposed to start your day.
Exactly.
So, Dr. Kayvon K, I mean, you know what? We thought about this. I thought about this topic. I start my day the right way. And the very first thing that I do every morning, which seems weird, I got this from Eben Pagan from many years ago, was drinking a glass of water that I place right beside my bed.
Yes.
Before I brush my teeth, before I do anything else, before I check social media, before I get into all that stuff, I drink a glass of water. And with intermittent fasting nowadays, which I've been doing, I'm actually wind up drinking 3 12-ounce glasses of water. So before I have my coffee, I start my day with 36 ounces of water.
I usually finish this one in the day. Like one of these. What is this?
Is that a half gallon, a gallon? I don't know.
I'm trying to find out.
Is it in ounces or milliliters or what is it?
It should say somewhere. I think it's about a liter.
About a liter. Yeah.
That's a liter.
So I try to get several liters. I try to get at least.
It is 1 liter.
Yeah, 1 liter. Okay, there you go.
So I usually start with like 2/3 of this or half of this.
2/3 of it. Yeah. So it's but just for me, it does tend to clarify my thinking, get me ready to move. And if I have had a tendency towards headaches sometimes because I've potentially been dehydrated from time to time, the amount of water that I consume, let's say I do consume perhaps a liter, it will within a very short period of time get rid of any sort of a headache. So those dehydration.
Dehydration is not just the feeling of thirsty, as you said. It helps with the headaches. A lot of I'm guessing it helps with the migraine headaches too, and also many times that we feel we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So it's better for weight loss and that sort of thing too.
Yeah, and hunger is basically thirst, often masquerading itself. So
we're supposed to drink our body weight in ounces every day.
Well, half your body weight in ounces. You might be a little water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then they would recommend 100 ounces. Now,
I was going to ask body weight in metric system or in imperial system.
We're very imperialistic here.
I don't know how much I weigh in a metric system.
Yes.
Our neighbors to the north in Canada, they're less imperialistic. Although
I saw a meme many years ago that was so awesome. It was 2 pictures of one Star Trek, everything nice, and the other one Star Wars with the big ships fighting at each other. This is metric system, imperial system.
Imperial system. Imperial cruisers.
That's right.
That's something.
Yes.
So you were going to talk about a couple of things, Dr. K, about blue lights and things like not the blue light special that we used to have at Kmart. No. But wakefulness and sleepiness and things.
Well, setting up the day right as one part of environmental productivity. So the whole idea is habits are much easier to implement and follow if the environment is right.
Right.
So the focusing on the environmental productivity, many things as far as devices and so, but setting up the day has been on my radar for a good 2 years now to really paying attention to it and getting into the cadence of it. So it starts with the night before, as in what time do I go to bed?
Or did you close your window that night because there are forest fires nearby?
There you go. things like that. That's the air quality.
The air
John,
quality's been an issue
yeah,
in Vancouver.
John, Dr. Vogelmann was asking me about how are you doing, and I said I'm just coming over a cough and
Ah,
cold because we had forest fires, and the city a few days ago was like a fog, but it was smoke, so it got to the
mm.
back of my throat and got me sick
And
and all of that.
we rarely have that issue here, but we've had a few forest
Mm.
fires of our own in this way too.
Yeah, yeah. Canada being such a big country with so many little people and like
I
so
know.
much forest and that sort of thing. Anyway,
Keep
so
track
what time do I go to bed? We talked about sleep cycles
Mhm.
a few like what it was a few months ago
Yeah,
on
we
the
did.
channel. So it's things like that. So waking up properly, you mentioned one of the key ingredients of setting up the day for success
Mhm.
is hydration from early in the morning.
Right.
Um, um, the other thing I do every day is like the first thing that I do is measuring my sleep score and
Mhm.
HRV. So I wear my Fitbit when I go to bed to measure my sleep score. So
Yep.
you're gonna get a score high or low or whatever, right? Because you can modify it. You can see the length of your sleep or quality of your sleep. Like today, coming up from a sickness, I had an fair sleep score. I'm
Mm.
looking at my phone. It's a 72. The
Mhm.
other day that I was much sicker, it was not very good. It was 65. So that's a
Mm.
bad day for me. So the day
Right.
is going to be groggy. So yesterday, basically, I didn't work much. I just rested and lay down on the couch and
Sure.
that sort of thing. So
Sure.
80, 85 is the highest that I can go for usually. So around 80 is good. But that's one thing. The other one is I measure my HRV every day, which is heart rate variability.
Oh, because I heard earlier before we went live, I thought it
Yeah.
was the HOV, the high
No,
occupancy
not the
vehicle.
HOV.
Yeah.
No,
And
and
I
then but I
and I
heard
was going to say
RV,
that because I
and I'm
saw you
thinking
go.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking RV
Yeah.
now with RV John down
Yes.
below in the RV
Yes.
Business Builders program.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's high octane RV. No,
Yeah, boy.
HRV is
That's right, baby.
heart rate variability. And I have one of those chest bands, the polar ones that
Oh,
I just put it on my chest, and for a 2-minute thing, it measures
I
it.
just
So as you
keep
can
track
see,
too.
yeah, some smartwatches do that. My watch doesn't. I have a Fitbit, right? So,
Yes.
but I use this app called Elite HRV, connects with my polar chest, and it's a 2-minute thing. You can do it multiple times a day, but I'm just do it one time a day. So today I did the day 740 days in a row. So it's just
wow.
10 days. It's 10 days over 2 years. Right. So I had a 7 today. So
What's the scale?
it's from 10.
Oh,
Right.
Huh.
Also, as you can you might see in the middle right over here, 10 is in the middle in the green
mhm.
area. Okay. And you can be lopsided to one of the ends, which is either too sympathetic or parasympathetic.
Wow.
Right. So these two numbers every day, they tell me where I am.
How stressed
Right.
out you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the one of the biggest wins for me has been right from the morning. I adjust my expectations of myself as far as like what kind of a day, a productivity, prolific day I'm going to have, and because I can have a day that by the end of it I feel good and fulfilled and happy with about my performance, considering where I started. Before
Mhm.
doing all of this, sometimes the number is higher or low, but I say, no, I'm going to do this and the long to-do list and so on, so on. So you might actually end up having a good productive day considering your lower scores, but you are disappointed at yourself. So, oh,
I was
so
just playing.
yes, you're not paying attention.
Well, no, there was a warning that flashed up in the studio. It
Yes.
says, since you were talking,
Yeah.
it's something new. It says double click to highlight. And so
Ooh.
I highlighted
Okay.
you.
I
So
guess, yeah, there you
yeah,
go. That's
Oh,
a
there
good
you go.
feature.
it's something
So,
brand new that just popped up in the middle of this
yeah.
broadcast.
So I mentioned the setting up ourselves for success,
Yeah.
not only practical but also mental.
Hmm.
That's one of the things I wanted to emphasize today, that we set ourselves up for success by the end of the day. So regardless where the scores are, am I sick today? Did I have a good sleep? Did not, hangover or whatever that I don't drink, but I'm guessing that could be an issue too. Um,
It can be. Yeah.
yes, there you go. So by the end of the day, you know you had a good day. So you end up having one good day after another good day, regardless of the level of performance.
One thing I was going to say too is that scrolling through social media first thing in the morning is bad.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
addictive, and it can also set you up for a sense of you're competing against other people, and maybe you might feel not as good or not as productive as other people. For example, somebody may look at a Gary V video first thing in the morning. It's like, oh no, I don't have a team of 200 people, and I am not where I wanted to be at a certain time. It's always good for me to listen to something very positive first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's not necessarily guided imagery, but it might be I'm listening from someone like Brendan Burchard or Tony Robbins or
Yes.
you know, Hicks, Abraham Hicks or something that's on a more positive
I
nature,
like
at least for
recently.
5 minutes.
Either, depending on my mood, I rather like Jocko Willink or Jim Brown.
Oh, Jim Rohn's
Okay,
great.
Ron.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've got cassette recordings back here from Jim Rohn. Now I just need a cassette player. So
You know what gets me going first thing in the morning?
chickens, no,
Chickens.
Rooster?
they
Yes,
wake you
yes.
up, or you
They wake
feed
me.
them.
They wake me up.
Oh,
And they
What
want
about
me
a
to go
stuffed
feed them.
chicken? Does it fall from the ceiling onto your
Stuffed
face or what?
chicken. No.
Chicken.
Representation of the real thing.
The representation of the chicken. There's not a rooster waking you up, is there?
I know.
Must be a
Okay.
rooster. Yeah.
No roosters. No roosters allowed.
No roosters. So
No
the
roosters
rooster
allowed.
rooster. So
Did you
Jim
guys know
Rohn is
that
a good
Rooster
one.
is my nickname at the gym?
What's your name now?
Rooster.
Nickname at the gym. They call me Rooster. I was also born in a year of Rooster.
I was born the
So-
year of the dog.
Yes.
So why did
my,
they call you rooster?
because
Wow.
I asked why, and they said because the way that you show up and you're loud and you connect and you announce things and that sort of
You're
thing.
allowed like a
Good
rooster
night.
in the morning.
I
You're funny.
think they had other things in mind, but I didn't want to go there.
You're like the
No, don't go
foghorn
there.
leghorn of the
Yes.
of the gym.
No coco vin, coco
Yes.
vin or something.
But here's the thing: I was born in a year of Rooster, so this whole
Oh.
has So for my 40th birthday, my mom painted. She's a painter. She painted a rooster with me in mind, like the way she knows her son. She just let the creativity come to her in very intuition based. So she said the way she knows me is painted the way that the rooster held his head or what colors to use and that sort of thing. So she painted my personality in a rooster, and it's on my home wall in the other room. So that was a good 40th birthday that I got. Actually, on my 40th birthday, she gave me two roosters. One, her painting. The other one with her sculptor friend, a bronze statue of a rooster. With again, the same thing in my personality in the thing.
I see. It wasn't that you have a reputation of fertilizing many eggs.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah, we have a potential.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but I like the idea of starting your day with something positive, and
Yes.
before you even get involved in a number of other activities,
Yes.
because a lot of times we're on autopilot. We get
Yes.
up, make the coffee, we do this, we do that, and
Yep.
rarely do we actually reflect on something if we're in a traditional sort of Western set the alarm clock, wake up to the alarm clock, run to the shower, and run to the office sort of thing.
Mm.
That may not set us up for success.
Another thing is, I don't do this always, but every once in a while that I add it because I need it. I'm sure I have mentioned morning pages before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So morning pages is that like emptying
The
the
brain
mind,
dump.
the
Yeah.
mind, the clutter that's there, just to
Mm-hmm.
clean the mindset or mind space of all
Free,
of the.
free your mind.
Yes, basically it's a reset of the brain and get rid of the cache and that sort of thing. So every once in a while I need to do that to create the room for creativity again.
I
So
love the clear your cache. I think that
clear.
would be really great.
Yeah.
Neurologically, clear your cache.
Yes.
Hey, so I was thinking about that the other day. Remind me how that works. The morning
Okay.
paper thing.
So it's like this. I'll tell you the technique, then I tell you my understanding / philosophy of it and
Perfect.
how it has been helping me. The technique is this: the very first thing that you do before any input from the environment. So no talking to anyone, no social media, no watching the news, nothing goes in. That fresh brain that wakes up, you write 3 pages of freehand and you just write. If you can't think of anything to write, just write that. I can't think of anything to write. Nothing comes to mind. But
Do
the
that
pen,
100 times.
yeah, the pen doesn't stop,
Yeah.
right? And you write 3 pages of freehand. This is not journaling. It just let it come, whatever wants to come. There is no thinking. You just let whatever is on your mind just come to the paper. The rule is nobody, not even you, is ever allowed to look at what you wrote.
Really?
Yes. So
But what
it's
if something good came out?
well, you can keep track of that. But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the stuff that comes, because we being human, we all have all sorts of thoughts and feelings that we might be ashamed of,
Yeah, there's
or
a lot of negative
not agree
self-talk.
with,
Yeah.
or negative,
Yeah.
or blasphemy, or whatever. But it's
Blasphemy. My
yeah, anything.
specialty is blasphemy.
Yeah,
Right?
there you
All
go.
in.
So,
All in.
so, but what I'm saying is, all the things that is in there, they're just taking up space, and they're
Yeah.
going in circles and that sort of thing. This is a quote from the book that there is only so many times that you can bitch about the same thing.
I
So
don't know. I think it's infinite.
I might have to
yeah,
think
but
about that.
if it's that's my point. If it's stuck up there and goes in cycles,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
infinite. But when you release
Yeah.
it to paper, after 2 or 3 times, you're free of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the philosophy part.
Hey, so one last thing.
Yes.
So what do you do with all this written paper when it's done? Because you're not going to read it again.
No.
You don't do anything with it.
You can
throw
shred it.
out?
You can burn them. You can throw them out.
Recycle.
I for a while I used to like to keep
I don't know if
them.
I'd want to recycle some of my thoughts.
Shred.
Yes.
Make sure you get a cross-cutting shredder.
Yes.
There you go. All
Put
right.
them in acid.
Acid dissolving in acid.
Yes.
Oh man.
So we all human beings, we crave, we desire freedom,
Hmm.
and we don't have it.
True.
Right.
Very
Every
true.
day we get a bit older. Every day we need to sleep. Every day we have to consider people around us. So there is almost, if we don't pay attention to it, like what you said a few minutes earlier, just let go the day to take over. Almost there is not much of us or freedom is there.
Right.
But that's about half an hour for me. That's 3 pages of freehand that there is no judgment. Anything can come go. Actually, my mind shouldn't be there. Is as close as possible that we can get to freedom. So it's like a little dose of freedom per day. I like to think of it this like this. All of those weary thoughts or worriness or undone open loops. It's like an angry, hungry dragon in our mind, and it's like always trying to attack and fire and that sort of thing. So a good chunk of our energy every day goes to trying to basically tame the dragon, push it aside so we can do our thing.
It's
Right.
so funny. I attended a workshop
Yes.
decades ago, and the book's title was "The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore."
Well, I don't agree with that, because I think if you have a pulse, we have those things in our head,
Mhm.
right? It's
Right.
so there is no getting rid of the dragon. There is no killing but there is managing it. So imagine that there is that hungry dragon, and you throw it a piece of steak, and it takes that and goes away. Sits at the corner, tries to eat and while the dragon is busy with that, leaves you alone. So you get to your work. So that's, and if you do this every day, it becomes a routine. So basically, you manage your dragons every day with morning pages and things like that, so you can come back and do your work. So that whole rule of nobody's going to look at this again allows us to that little bit of a freedom, taming the dragon to go. So we have this cluttered mind, and when I do this, let's say for a week or 10 days or so, so many of this comes to paper and we get rid of them. You end up having more and more space, lightness, feeling of bright
Right.
thoughts coming
Yeah,
in.
like a lightness of being. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
Lightness of being like a light at the end of the tunnel kind of a thing.
right.
And you can start to breathe, and suddenly you can't even stop it. Good thoughts, great ideas, ways to connect the dots, they start coming to you. Because if you have the picture but it's covered with mud, you just basically clean it up and suddenly you see, it's like that. So
Mhm.
that's a practice that I really like to do every once in a while whenever I feel
Oh,
the
so this
clutter.
isn't
Because
a daily practice for you.
well, it is a daily while there's a clutter, but because here's
Got
the
it.
thing: when we
Okay.
clear the cache, then you're fine. Then it becomes to me, because I have
I
done
was
it
trying to
so
figure out
many.
where am I going to get this extra half hour a day?
No,
I'm just
actually,
trying
well,
to figure
I
out where I'm going to get
started
this
back
extra
in
memory.
2006.
I want more RAM.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. I need more RAM.
Yes. So I let it, to build up, and every once in a while you feel pressure. You do it another
Interesting.
10 days or so
Very interesting.
of morning pages. Then because I have been doing this since 2006, so my
Right.
brain is now has like a rhythm to it. But yeah, like that.
So for you, it's like a 10-day cycle.
Mhm.
Like every 2 or 3 months, I have to do another 10-day cycle kind of a thing.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, because as I said, our brain gets trained with getting rid of the clutter and extra crap. So me being doing it from 2006 now, it's like a much more well-trained brain than my brain back in
So
2006.
your brain is basically you're decrapifying your brain and
Yes,
taming the dragon. So
yes, and I say 7 to 10 days because all of this crap that is clogging all
it's
of the so it takes a while for you to get rid of the crap. You know why?
Yeah.
Because crap moves at the speed of crap.
at the speed of crap. I don't know if you
Yes,
step in it,
yes,
it's pretty
yeah,
fast.
yeah. So it takes a
Can
while
be.
for the for the clog to come over, but after that you have
I'm looking for the URL now, decrapify.com.
yeah. So think about it. I keep talking about cleaning up
Yeah.
and all. Guess what? What we are creating when you declutter and remove the crap, you have
More of
flow.
the same. Yeah. Or you
So that's where the flow state coming from. You
Mhm.
have the flow of more creativity, and basically the pressure is gone, the clogging is gone, and so it's creating more flow and setting ourselves as up for flow state in a day.
If the crap do go, you go with the flow.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you. Write that down.
I just write it down quick.
But then you'll have to burn it.
What's that?
But then you'll have to burn it tomorrow.
I'll have to burn.
There
Well,
you
no,
go.
that one I'm going to save. That one
So
I'm
that's the
going
one
to
you
save.
want to have it write it on the wall with a spray.
Spray paint.
So there you go.
I'm
Hire a
do
graffiti artist.
graffiti in my office.
I know a good graffiti artist.
There you go.
Graffiti artist. Yeah, exactly. So, what other thing? You said some other things about blue light. I was trying to figure out what the blue light thing was.
Oh,
Was
blue
that to
light.
wake up?
The screen light.
Screen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, as opposed to
Yeah.
the amber or the yellow.
Yeah, from our phones and like no screen, no other light after 9 p.m. kind of a thing.
But that's in
And during the
anticipation
day,
of you
sometimes I
sleeping.
use my blue light, blue blocking glasses.
Yeah, but so if it's nothing after 9, are you anticipating sleeping by 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting to bed by 10, so I fall asleep around 10:15 or so. So naturally, without alarm, and I have, I've got rid of having alarms most of the nights. Because without an alarm, I get up around like 5:30, 5:45, 5:15 sometimes.
Yeah, to me that's just alarming.
Yes.
But I did get up the other day naturally at 5:45 with no alarm for a 6 a.m. call that came
there
from
you
the
go.
East Coast. I thought that was interesting. It's like, why did I suddenly wake up with no alarm?
Yeah. It's following the natural rhythm as opposed to some alarm clock.
Mhm.
And if we have to use alarm clock, I recommend something that's it's considering your sleep cycles.
Mhm.
Like my Fitbit is watching my sleep cycle. So when I say wake me up at 5:45 and I turn that smart option on, it's not exactly 5:45, maybe a bit later or before.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
right.
waits for me to finish a sleep cycle, then wakes me up. Right.
Oh, that's
This
interesting. Is it a
yeah.
sound or a stim? Are you getting electric shock or?
No, well, I have it on a vibrate because it's on my wrist.
Right.
But I used to have this app on my phone called Sleep Cycle,
I
and it did the
remember.
same thing. It
Yeah.
listened to my breathing. and
Oh.
it could say it could detect that I am not in I finished my sleep cycle, then the alarm would go off.
And these were like 90-minute cycles, weren't they? Or
Yeah.
approximately. Yeah.
9 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Occasionally, I do listen. So,
You always do. You just
So-
can't spell.
I can tell. Yeah, I can
Still thinking of waking
incriminate.
Yes.
Oh man. So, any other suggestions, John? What do you do in the morning besides have a chicken drop on your head?
What do I do in the morning? I have a whole morning routine, right?
You do.
I get up, I exercise, I do some visualization, some meditation. Yeah, I got a whole morning routine.
Do you exercise the demons each morning, or? Oh,
Gotta
sorry,
do that every day.
Exercise.
Every day,
Demons,
man, every day.
Dragons, and you. So,
There you go.
it's going to be our new workshop.
Demons, dragons. That could be a good one.
Could be very good. Hey, so any final thoughts here? We're coming up to the half hour. We think we're promising people that we can.
Yeah, I just want to
Keep it shorter.
reiterate the main concept that I wanted to communicate today, which is adjusting our expectations of our day based on the scores that we have from whatever we keep track of. So we end up fulfilled, not only productive, but also fulfilled.
Mm.
I just have to say one thing. I think it's kind of funny or more than coincidence that I was thinking the other day. I said, I remember Dr. K's whole thing about writing things down in the morning.
Yeah.
I said, I wonder how that would work in practice for me. And here you went through it for me. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
that's great.
So here's an
I was
idea.
literally thinking of it.
How about all three of us and anybody else wants to join us from our viewers? We start doing a whole week of morning pages starting tomorrow morning when we wake up. So next Friday, we exchange notes on our experiences.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You up for
I'm
it?
pretty sure I can do that. The question is the morning page. First thing in the morning is going to be tough.
Yeah, it has to be your fresh brain before any other input.
Can I drink my water?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you can drink
Yeah.
you can drink your water while you're writing if you want.
Well, let me tell you, when I wake up, the first thing I do is bathroom break or bathroom.
Oh, well, they're good. Thank God.
Then I start writing. Right.
So we're allowed to relieve ourselves and rehydrate ourselves.
Of course, this is not gulag, man.
Come on.
It's not the gulag, the Dr. K gulag.
Jeez. The Hanoi. This isn't the Hanoi Hilton.
It's not the Hanoi Hilton. Oh,
Yes.
we're not stuck in 1979 in Tehran.
No.
It's good. It's good to know.
It's a brand new world.
Oh, man. Hey, speaking of crazy worlds, we know that most of you in this crazy world of ours watch this not so much always on the live, but watch it on the replay. And so we're going to suggest to you, if you have any questions or concerns or other things, topics you might want us to cover. And if you're going to be doing your morning pages, why don't you hashtag replay on there? So we can tickle the algorithm, but also so that we can know that you're there and answer your questions.
Yes.
Because we are in fact broadcasting on 10 different platforms today. We missed out on LinkedIn today because they wanted 1 hour in advance. I just checked out the latest. It used to be 2 hours. Now it's scheduled 1 hour in advance. So, sorry, LinkedIn people. We might upload this as a video, but we can only do 10 minutes of it because the LinkedIn limitation. So that's where we are.
Or we'll do it in pieces.
We'll do it in pieces, little pieces, tiny pieces, 10-minute pieces.
10-minute pieces. Well, that's not
tiny little.
only 3.
That's right. All right. So that's it for now. We will be back here again, I hope, at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on Friday of next week, which will be the 28th.
Yeah, sharing our experiences by doing
of our
1
morning
week of morning
pages.
pages.
I'm hoping it's not mourning.
No. Well, sometimes it's that, but no.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Every once in a while, there's morning pages.
Not today.
All right. We'll see you next week.